Hey guys, it's Jeremy here on Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. What we have for today, guys, is another album review. This time we're checking out the death metal band called Fleshcrawl. They're based out of Germany. They're on Rainy Phoenix Music currently. This is a new band for me. Never heard these guys before, but they've been around for a long time. I think they formed in '87, I believe it was. So they've been around for a really long time. They're at the beginning of the early '90s kind of death metal sound. They were very active in the '90s and 2000s. They did an album in '92, '94, '96, '97, 2000, 2001, pretty steadily. And then near the end of their career, they kind of fell off. They had an album in 2007, and then had a 12-year gap until 2019, and then another 7-year gap until this year, 2026. The new album is called Epitome of Carnage. Just dropped on June 12th, 2026. This is another one I came across on Metallum that looked really, really interesting to me. I love the artwork on this one. Their logo is killer, and just the overall vibe of the artwork is just pure death metal, like early school death metal. It's got 12 tracks in total, just over 48 minutes in length, and this was a killer death metal album. It opens up a Blood Dominion, really good opener. He's got these really low guttural vocals, kind of reminiscent of Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse, the same tonality in terms of the deepness, like the tone of his voice. And the delivery is very similar as well. If you're into bands like Obituary, Autopsy, Dismember, Grave, if you're into bands like that, you'll definitely like this band. It's super brutal, but there is splashes of moments where they have these like really nice kind of melodic leads and some mid-pace kind of grooves mixed in, and kind of cutting through the brutality. But they have a ton of like blast beats and like really chopping rhythms and really high energy stuff. And then there's also even surprisingly a little bit of doomy stuff mixed in here, where they have a couple doom moments where it's like kind of an epic doom sounding. Doesn't really take away from the brutality. The little splashes of it here and there, just to cut through the death metal part of it, to kind of give it a little more dimension, a little bit more different flavor to it. But overall, really, really strong album. I like all the songs, they're really killer. If I had to pick a couple standout tracks, let me see here. Embers of Wrath was definitely a standard track for me. Really, really good song. Orphan God was a really, really good tune. Path of Thorns was definitely a standout track for me, number 10. That one had some really nice leads in it and a really good mid-pace kind of like melodic lead going through it, like melodic groove. And then the last song of Fire and Flesh had that kind of a little bit of a doomy epic moment that really stood out to me, that really kind of made it interesting. Really like that song as well. But overall, killer album, not really weak songs on the album. Production was killer. Super heavy, in-your-face death metal. If you're just a fan of that old school, brutal death metal that just rips your face off, blistering fast rhythms, but mixes in just enough like mid-tempo grooves to keep it kind of your head bobbing, but you're at the same time like keep maintaining the brutality to get your head banging. Machine gun riffs, windmill head banging. It's so heavy. Great vocals, great production, great songs, great artwork. Like just really strong death metal album. I'm not sure how I haven't heard of these guys before, but I definitely want to check out some of their earlier catalog to see how they sound. But this is definitely one I'll be picking up a copy of if I can come across it for a reasonable price. So yeah, really good stuff. For ranking out of 10, I'm going to give it like an 8.5. Like I really like this album. Really strong death metal. It's kind of bordering on as brutal as I like it to get, but it just sounded so good. It's really well done, well written, well executed, and just really, really good old school death metal. So yeah, 8.5 I think is a good score for this one. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you like Grave, Autopsy, Dismember, bands like that, Obituary, Cannibal Corpse, this will be right up your alley for sure. You'll love this band. So if you do end up checking it out, you can stream it on YouTube. They have the full album on there as well. That's where I kind of came across a version of it. And give me your thoughts down below if you do check it out. And thanks again for watching, guys. And keep it metal.